My name is Micah Moeller, and I will be reading from the 51st chapter of Charles Dickens' The Old Curiosity Shop. This cutting centers around the villainous dwarf Mr. Quilp and his two shady legal accomplices, Mr. Sampson Brass and Miss Sally Brass. Together, they are plotting to get rid of a boy named Kit, who knows a little bit too much information about Mr. Quilp's criminal past. In the height of his boisterous merriment, Mr. Quilp resumed his usual manner all at once, dismounted from his cask, and laid hand upon the lawyer's sleeve.
"A word," said the dwarf, "before we go further. Sally, harkye for a minute."
Miss Sally drew closer, as if accustomed to business conferences with their host.
"Business,"
said the dwarf, glancing from brother to sister.
"Very private business. Lay your heads together when you're by yourselves."
"Oh, well, certainly, sir," returned Brass, taking out his pocketbook and pencil. I'll take down the heads, if you please, sir. Oh, remarkable documents," added the lawyer, raising his eyes to the ceiling. "Oh, most remarkable documents. Why, he states his point so clearly that it's a treat to have him. Why, I don't know any act of Parliament that's equal to him in clearness."
"I shall deprive you of that treat," sneered Quilp. "Put up your books. We don't want any documents. So, there's a lad named Kit."
Miss Sally nodded, implying that she knew of him. "Kit," said Sampson. "Kit? Oh, I've heard that name before, but I don't exactly call to mind. I don't exactly—"
"Why, you're as slow as a tortoise and more thick-headed than a rhinoceros,"
returned his obliging client with an impatient gesture. "Oh, well, he's extremely pleasant," cried the obsequious Sampson. "Oh, his acquaintance with the natural history, too, is surprising. Oh, quite a buffoon, quite." Now, there is no doubt that Mr. Brass intended some compliment or other, and it has been argued with show of reason that he would have said buffon, but made use of a superfluous vowel. Be this as it may, Quilp gave him no time for correction by more than tapping him on the head with the handle of his umbrella. "Don't let's have any wrangling," said Miss Sally, staying his hand. "I've showed you that I know him, and that's enough."
"She's always foremost,"
said the dwarf, patting her on the back and looking contemptuously at Sampson.
"I don't like Kit, Sally."
"Nor I," rejoined Miss Brass. "Oh, well, nor I," said Sampson.
"Why, that's right. Half of our work is already done. Now, this Kit is one of your honest people, one of your fair characters. A prowling, prying hound, a hypocrite, a double-faced, white-livered, sneaking spy, a crouching cur to those that feed and coax him, and a barking, yelping dog to all besides."
"Oh, fearfully eloquent," cried Brass with a sneeze. Quite appalling." "Come to the point," said Miss Sally, "and don't talk so much."
"Right again,"
exclaimed Quilp with another contemptuous look at Sampson.
"I say, Sally, he is a yelping, insolent dog to all besides, and most of all to me. In short, I owe him a grudge."
"Oh, well, that's enough, sir," said Sampson.
"No, that's not enough, sir. Will you hear me out? Besides that I owe him a grudge on that account, he thwarts me at this minute and stands between me and an end which might otherwise prove a golden one to us all. Now, apart from that, I repeat that he crosses my humour and I hate him. Now, you know the lad, and you can guess the rest. Devise your own means of putting him out of my way and execute them. Shall it be done?"
"It shall, sir," said Sampson.
"Then give me your hand,"
retorted Quilp.
"Sally girl, yours." I rely as much or more on you than him.
No other word was spoken, no other look exchanged, which had the slightest reference to this, the real occasion of their meeting. The trio were well accustomed to act together, and were linked to each other by ties of mutual interest and advantage, and nothing more was needed.